Empire Total War with Darth mod. So I've actually devised a plan because, well, I said I was going to fight this, but it turns out this is actually just the reinforcement, or not the reinforcement army, it was the leftovers. There was left over after the other battle. So there's no more than about 3,000 men against my 9,000. So there's no real point in fighting this. I think instead, to save time and sort of get some progress, we're gonna out-resolve this one. And then what I really need to do is I think I need to lower the size of the men I keep in these huge armies, really. I need to keep it maybe... I mean, the thing is, we probably need, say, 20 infantry, but then if we just add on the cannons and a little bit of cavalry and so forth, we probably end up a little bit more than 20 units. Obviously, if someone puts up a full stack against us, like here, it would be nice to have a full stack to go against them. But some of the times, or quite often, we come up against these smaller units, which it really seems like, you know what, the Dutch, they go back and forth in being overrun. We need to really, I mean, it doesn't look as though the Dutch really needs help here. Look at that unit right there. Oh no, the enemy probably marched. God damn it. Tell the Portuguese to stay off the bloody Dutch.
Watching.
Yeah, they moved in there. We need to land an army to just crush the Portuguese once and for all. Especially now when we are building our new ships. So that will be the job of this army then. To attack here. And then... I'm not sure what we can do with... We'll have to... Then these guys will be isolated, because they have no colonies left. This army right here... I could get access from Savoy. If I don't really... What nation did I actually get military access from? Do we have... No, we don't. So we could get that from the little child king. Or he looked like a child. It's probably one of those things where it looks like a child. But then it turns out, oh, he's 30. I thought it was going to be something ridiculous, like 69 or 55 was. But we'll can march through there and get the Portuguese, because, well, they've got two armies, one of which is kind of broken here, but definitely going to be able to break down the Dutch, which don't really have a lot. But then there's this army, and then moving on, yes. Anyways, let's go ahead and fight this battle. Kind of interesting about the... Oh yeah, I wanted to say about that. Because I took the time to look up the Swiss mountain Jaegers. The Windbrucht Jaegers. I still... There's only really been one request to rename a unit after, like, put a commander on it. And that army is... That unit is still in... Is it here? Let's see. Can I remember even what unit it was? I think it was an Irish one. There! The 63rd Captain William Locke. So, that's still open to have, like, anyone really, and it doesn't take that long, and I don't imagine that many people want it, since, I mean, no one else really has, so if you could go ahead and request me naming a unit or putting you in command of it. Could be nice once you're in battle and like, oh, there is William Locke's regiment marching up, and I'm marching it up here and so on, and accidentally lost it. Oh, unfortunate for me and William Locke himself.
I cannot go there.
Why?
Some mistake, surely, General.
Okay, you can't go there.
On your Majesty's service.
How about you sneak in and see what they've actually got here? You successfully did that, so it's a lot of just infantry. Not all, they're kind of broken, some of them. Huh, and the general is not too good either, or too bright. And then he's got a little bit of reinforcement there in terms of the cavalry unit. Yes. Right, Elliot Compton, I command you then to attack them without further ado. Yes, I was talking about the Windbruchsjäger, or well, the Jaegers that that my Swiss army had, and kind of interesting because those rifles that they have are actually powered by compressed air, which seems very futuristic. But technically they wouldn't be in use because they would. I think there was 1777 or something like that when they started to come in use or something like that. Because I think what they did was the Austrians used them, and then they went out of style after the Napoleonic Wars, if I remember correctly. And I mean, I probably should put a link or something in the description because I found those rifles rather interesting. The only thing I had trouble finding out was really the kind of power they delivered. But the accuracy and the fact that they weren't gunpowder loaded was accurate. Anyways, let's go ahead and play this battle of Milan, Lombardy. And so here we have the army laid out before us. Quite an interesting battlefield as we seem to be coming down from the mountains above, which I'm guessing this is Milan, but this is not really big enough. Well, this is the outskirts then, and we got the town actually back there. And so we're coming down from the mountains. I like this, sort of like a vineyard type feeling. Or sort of a ridged area. Probably supposed to be grapes along here. And then just going through what I've put everywhere. Royal Welsh Fusiliers over there. British Fusiliers here. Horse Guard Cuirassiers behind here. Center, we've got the Scottish Line Infantry backed up by the 33rd Foot. Then on this side we got the Royal British Grenadiers backed up by the Royal Highland Grenadiers. We've got the normal foot line infantry on the hill just to protect the cannons, and we've got the life guards here, or the horse guards. I don't think we've actually seen the horse guards before, although they don't have an exciting uniform, do they? Let's see. Did I forget anything? No, I don't think so. Let's go ahead and commence the battle. Holy shit. Look at all those troops. First things first, I think. We're gonna deploy these on the flank, seeing how many enemies are coming on immediately. God. Holy crap-a-doodle. And we're already trying to blow the town to pieces. Right, there's a bit of a ridge there, so the Scots can advance there. 33rd will be in the back to sort of protect them in case the enemy breaks through. Since we got the nice bit of ridge here, we can stand on top of it, and then we can move down, I guess from there, up towards the ridge, where we can join the rest of them. And then the Highland Grenadiers will be behind to back them up. Holy crap, this is where the first contact's going to be, because we've got provincial cavalry moving up. The Scots are in position though. Fire! Didn't take out that many of them. The main line fight is going to be on the right, as you can see so many of them over there. Where are all the cannons firing? They're firing somewhere in the center of town. They hit this house quite a lot. God, there's so many Spanish troops really everywhere in town. And that column that was marching over there It's going to be a hard fight trying to hold out against these. So we've got main sort of line here. Maybe I'll move the 33rd back, move them towards there. Maybe we need to move these guys down to help out. The Scots might be needed somewhere else. I think just because of the sort of broken up nature of the town and so forth here, I don't think the Spanish will be able to conduct a good enough attack through there. So I think we'll be kind of safe on that side. Here in the open though, there's a completely different story, as the Royal Welsh Fusiliers firing with the firing against these Carabiner units, and regiment upon regiment. I mean, they're definitely gonna do some kind of charge here. So you know what? Yes, we're gonna move the 33rd. 33rd isn't actually that good. I'm not entirely sure why they made a special unit with such poor stats. We're gonna move these guys as well. Move them in column through there. I don't think we're gonna need the heavy cavalry on this side, so we're gonna move them as well. I want to use the explosive shots because I don't want to completely destroy the enemy in the beginning, because that other shot, whatever it's called, crash shot, is kind of OP once it strikes like the correct way. Look at all these troops coming on. But seems like they're just gonna have these two fire against the Fusiliers on this side, and then the mainstay of their attack is gonna go down somewhere towards the center here. The thing is, we're definitely gonna need help by the artillery, so I'm gonna select the howitzers. And let's see if we can target. Oh, we don't. They're not actually in reach, but they're slowly marching in reach. I'm trying to anticipate where the bayonet attack is going to go in. I like this fire by rank that's going down by our men. Here we go. No, they're reloading. Because you can see sort of the wave of bullets flying through. There we go. Second rank. Rear rank. Lovely. What I can do is I can switch to round shot with the howitzers, then we should be able to reach them. If I switch to round shot, we target like the 97th Regiment. Right there in the middle. Oh, the Welsh Fusiliers here seem to be losing the battle. We're gonna move in our heavy cavalry to aid them and to strike the enemy. Let's see, are the howitzers firing here now? I think once they fire here, yeah, here we go. It's gonna land right in the middle of all of this, isn't it? Oh, I landed in that bloody corner. I'm still so they're firing at the corner of the unit and not in the center. The Spanish are making their way. I think we've found where they're gonna do their attack, so I want the 33rd to hold right behind here to be able to throw them into aid. Okay, the Welsh Fusiliers, these two units, are gonna fall back. And open up for the heavy cavalry to march through. But at the same time, we've got this really close call going on. Fuego! Maybe? No? They're readying. There's someone down there that hasn't reloaded. There we go. fired, but now the volleys are coming back at them. Come on, second rank. Fire! Give me third rank as well. Boom. Oh, that unit is getting destroyed by the howitzers. I need to select the howitzers again. No! What I need to do is I need to select the heavy cavalry. Because it's the heavy cavalry's turn to shine. No, the Welsh Fusiliers. Did I tell them to? Oh, I told them actually to retreat accidentally. Crap. Right, the Welsh Fusiliers, both of the units are left. It's gonna have to fall back, and then we're gonna get these new to fill in for them. And the guys are marching in column right now. Okay, so their attack over here has been dispelled. I want to see what's going on the other side. We've got some fighting here in the forest. This unit has got a nice flank on these guys, which we have completely missed. And I'm going to move up this unit to fill the gap and to open fire to blow those bastards out of the water. We can see another bayonet attack mounting right about here, but we got actual grenadiers ready to stand behind, throw grenades like we've seen before. So the attack here is slowly falling apart. Let's see how the cavalry did. They're stuck in and they're cutting the enemies to pieces. Welsh Fusiliers are moving back. We got more cavalry coming in, and I think the enemy has now actually made it to our men. But our men might be able to fight them off. It would be nice here if the two, I mean, if the first ranks were fighting like that, the rear ranks could still fire, could they not? Right, we're gonna tell the howitzers to pick targets on their own, and I'm gonna use explosive rounds. Oh, look at that! We've even torn this house down, firing off this unit. We've torn quite a few houses. It would have been nicer maybe if the Spanish had held their position. Right, continue on into this unit. It's time for you three to deploy across here and fix that gap. You can see our unit here is about to get destroyed. Oh, they're even going through now. 33rd, open fire. Because they're going completely through this unit now. They're even coming through to the 33rd. Fire straight into this mess. The cavalry needs to deal with these men, and then they need to come around and fall in on the enemy from the flank. This unit, there's 20 men left in it. 18. Oh, they formed square to try to protect themselves. But the 33rd is just laying everything they've got right into this mess. I think this regiment probably needs to fall back as well. And the 33rd seems to actually be covering them quite well. Main line of the Scots are holding. Oh, we have the enemy. I think this one will be enough, and it will hit that unit in the middle. We'll see how this goes. Grenadiers! Here goes the grenades. Kaboom! I think our unit is about to fall back, maybe. Well, we're definitely gonna have to pull back this one. We might as well pull back this one. And then we can have... and this one as well, actually. And then we can have the Scottish regiments take their place and open fire on what remains of the Spanish units out here. Go on! Open fire! Oh, these guys are firing volley style, everything at once. Why aren't you firing? Oh, you're on. There we go. Have we dealt with... Yeah, we dealt with the guys in the forest, so... You can march up a bit. Same with you. They're trying to attack here now. I'm not entirely sure if that's a good idea. We've got another attack coming in here. 33rd, and those guys held off, which is good. Then these two can actually move back, and the 33rd can fill that gap. But as we see, most of the enemies are retreating. We can actually advance a bit. These can hold back, this one can hold back. Instead, these three will march up like so. Now we've got all the heavy cavalry on this side. Oh, there's lots of obstacles for our cavalry here. I mean, look at all of this, all over the place. Especially right about here. It seems like they stored them here. They weren't able to deploy them correctly. We're concentrating on this side of the town, which we destroy with just pushing as much shot into this part of town as possible. Lots of Spanish troops retreating on this side. We've got the cavalry and then the 52nd Regiment moving up. But then moving up into... Oh, Grenadiers versus these guys. We should be able to win that, shouldn't we? Was this General's bodyguard moving right into the firing zone? Well, that's pretty silly. The Grenadiers fighting in normal line infantry. The enemy general is dead. Don't think the Grenadiers will have any problem dealing with these guys. No. And now they're retreated. Last attempt by the Spanish going into the center. This is not really enough men. A thin line of Scots holding. Oh, it looked like it was just two ranks, but I guess it's because the front rank was kneeling down. And the Spanish moves across the front line rather than go straight in for it. Stupid AI. I think they're about to. Yeah, here goes next volley. They're starting to round a bit. You know what? Rather than standing here reloading, we're gonna throw ourselves into a bayonet attack. We're not gonna stand there and wait for the enemy to return fire. They form square, trying to. I think it is that you get a morale bonus for forming square, and that's why the AI likes to do it. Because otherwise, their units would probably just fall apart completely. But the Spaniards, they've lost their general, and they lost most of their army, so they don't really stand a chance. We'll go back in position and prepare for the next wave that's coming up. The next wave of troops. Seems like most of them are retreating, except for this huge square they formed. And I guess it's just standing there to protect the rest of the regiments retreating at this point. We will march up and attack. We probably don't need this one then. You can stay back, but you can go in between those houses. They're retreating already after just losing 3 men. What are we firing over here? All the, like, howitzer shots are exploding around this bloody house. I think this one unit of Scots can probably break them. If they are reloaded, which I hope they are at this point. Get in position, quick. Ah, they're retreating. There's one unit passing by the general. Right, time to hold fire with the artillery. I think this area has suffered enough. We hit the town hall, we hit quite a few buildings, but it seems like we really targeted in on this area, or aimed in for this area. Not entirely sure why. There's a few cavalrymen. What it could have been like a single unit sort of stuck in the building somehow, or close to it. Because I don't really see what they were firing so heavily on this, just this area. Oh yeah, the general is chasing down some people. But he's elected to do it in a very strange way. Right, I think we're done. We managed to defeat them without that high casualties. There's a lot of Spanish bodies on this. I mean, if they actually formed line against us and fired upon us like a proper army, rather than doing these weird blobs that slowly move forwards and then goes into bayonet attack. It's kind of a wasteful way of using all your manpower. But they had 3 specific attacks, which you can clearly see. They had one going through here, that was going to go for its bayonet attack here. We had the one in the center going for this bayonet attack here, but they sort of got stopped about here. And then we got the massive one here, which they had a few attacks and then going for the major attack here. They did actually cause quite a bit of damage on these guys when they actually stood to fire upon us. So the Royal Welsh Fusiliers, which I think is a grenadier unit, is a grenadier regiment, but it can't throw grenades. The only thing they have is they're obviously better at melee than they are at shooting. Enough of this though. Let's go ahead and end the battle. Save it. Milan. And here we have the statistics of the battle. The enemy lost the entire force, only 120 remain after the battle. And we lost 2,371. Highest killers on our side. British Fusiliers, one of them killed 600, and Scottish Line Infantry 33rd. That 133rd was perfectly matched, and they only lost 4 men. That's pretty good. Interesting how they retreated into this part of the area. Did it crash now? Why is it stuck like this? There we go. Not entirely sure what happened there. Why it took so long. Oh, Spain was destroyed? Oh, yes, because Spain lost all their provinces in Europe. That means the colony part is all pirates, and oh, so if that, then the Spanish Empire completely falls apart and the rest of it becomes pirate. Interesting. Wait, wasn't this Spanish? It was taken then back up by the Indians. Interesting. And then this fell to some kind of... Oh, this is also an Indian nation. Santo Domingo fell to the pirates. Same with Panama, I mean. And we've got Grand Colombia as a new nation. Can I trade with Grand Colombia? Yes, I can. They're at war with the pirates. How about trade, good sir? They probably won't trade because, well, otherwise they refused. Maybe I would have crushed them. Very interesting. We got Colombia. Huh. Then, well, are we at war with this nation, whatever it's called? Let's see. No, Mayan rebels it's called. So it's just rebels. We are at war with these guys, the Mayan rebels. So we'll have to march down and fight them. Pueblo Nation just increased their territory. And then we have to deal with the pirates of Santo Domingo, which has a lot of artillery. That's the only thing they have. But then Spain is no more. Means we can start planning our attack on the Portuguese instead. Right, let's go ahead and end turn. And so we look at a new turn, and and it seems as though the workers of Spain are on strike. We've got a rebellion going on in France. Very nasty picture though, which doesn't seem at all like France. I'm not entirely sure what's going on here. It looks more like someone's punishing Native Americans, although at the same time that body is very white. We have workers on strike in Lombardy as well. We've got ships being recruited in the Bay of Bengal. We've got the Swiss army being upgraded in Spain. We've got some troops being recruited to hold down regions in America. Construction report. We've got steamed power sugar mill. So we got a lot of sugar is gonna come in. We got a lot of stuff going in here actually. Intellectual advances. We have secular humanism. Not entirely sure what that did. Great trains. Morally impaired for Pippin Aegon. Which I think is... Ah yes, a public servant died. And so we got a new minister. No, is it? It's the... Who died? Yes. The Treasury Department. He died. Because before he looked like a pimp. He had a hat on. And then this guy takes over. Gregory Patterson takes over as Chancellor of the Exchequer. And he doesn't have a hat and he's looking the other way. The other guy was leaning sort of towards here. So this guy is looking towards the Chief of Justice, which has been this guy though. Morally impaired and status quo. I mean, as a Prime Minister, he couldn't be any worse. He's only got 2 points. That's probably part of the reason why so many areas are that's newly been conquered. I shouldn't have done that. That's newly been conquered. We're actually gonna let France take this. I'd hoped though that it would have been a revolutionary France rather than royal France. Maybe I'll go ahead and try this again and see if I can get the revolutionary France to take over instead. Anyways, looking at the time though, I think we're gonna end the episode right here. So for next one, since Spain is done for, we'll monitor the activities of France. Then we might release Spain once I've fixed the Spanish region. We'll go ahead and deal with the Mayan rebels. and the pirates on Santo Domingo. Once that's done, we will definitely oh yes, the pirates in Panama as well. Not entirely sure if I'm going to be going and taking this. Since it's a small nation, we might just leave that one alone. Can I start trade? As long as I can trade with the nation, we're not going to declare war on them. These Indians, they are not willing to trade with us, so unfortunately they're going to have to go. And these guys, I don't think we can trade with them. They don't have any formal trade route, so I think they also gonna have to go because we need that fur. And then it's the Ottomans, really. We need to go against the Ottomans, which were already softening up Egypt by turning it Protestant. It's going very slowly though, but it is increasing. I think mostly we're turning the Orthodox population in our favor. So, well, you know what I can do? We possibly want to kill off Morocco and take out the pirates that live here, the Barbary State pirates. And then we got the Portuguese as well. Need to keep an eye on the Dutch, keep them alive. Not entirely sure what we're going to do with this region, if we're going to maybe give it to the Pope. But that seems very unlikely. I don't want to embolden the Pope, so maybe we'll give it to the Venetians instead, because the Venetians are at war with the Ottomans. Or really, maybe I should choose one of these. I'm not sure. Maybe we should let this region rebel as well, just to see what will pop up, what nation will pop up there. Could be interesting to see, because I want to not hold as much on mainland Europe as little as possible. And I want to create all these smaller nations that I either can puppet or just contain. What am I doing here? Oh yes! I was building a school here. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye!